Hi guys, hope that you are fine. We are glad to see you this morning, and now as time has reached for you to go, we pray that may the Lord lead you, you reach there well, and when you arrive there, greet them, tell them that you love all of them, and we always pray for them wherever we are, and may the Lord bless you for your support. You have been supporting us since we were left behind by our beloved parents, and also may the Lord be with you wherever you go, and also remember God in everything you do, and please don't leave us behind. Remember us and everything will be okay. Goodbye, and by God willing we shall meet. Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
You get that film? Warriors. Young warriors.
Young warriors.
We flew into Nairobi and packed all of our equipment into a Toyota van and drove through the Central Rift Valley and then for hours on these unpaved roads before we reached our destination, the Margaret Okari School in the village of Kisii. My friends and I have played music all over the place. We've played rock clubs, coffee shops, dorm rooms. We played on the streets of Denver outside the Democratic National Convention. This one time when we were like 17 years old, we played at a conference for Unitarian teenagers outside of Worcester, Mass. We played a sold-out show at the Middle East in Cambridge one night and then played to 5 people the next night in Montpelier, Vermont. So we've played all kinds of places since the Andover High School Talent Show of 2001. But this was a first. My friends Pete Michelini, Andy Doherty, and I have been playing music together since we were middle schoolers growing up in Andover, Massachusetts. We got lots of support from this wild man, Bill Fahey, the founder of Andover's Youth Services Program. After doing some community outreach projects in the village of Kisii in May of 2010, Bill invited me to go back with him to record an album with the students of the Okari School. And that's how we ended up here.
I'd heard about this woman named Kumboka who was doing some amazing things in Kenya through my friend Peg Campbell. And Peg went down and visited her about 2.5 years ago and came back and started to tell me about the Okari School, which is located in East Africa, Kenya, in a place called Kisii, and told me about the students. There was over 180 orphans at the school and they needed support and help any way they could get it.
Kenya yetu Kenya nchi nzuri, hakuna matata, ya kupendeza, hakuna matata, wote mwakaribisho, hakuna matata. Kenya yetu hakuna matata, kila siku hakuna matata, watu wetu hakuna matata, kila siku hakuna matata, watu wote Kenya hakuna matata. Tuimbe, tucheze zote, Kiswahili ni lugha ya Afrika. Tuimbe, tucheze zote, Kiswahili ya Afrika.
And what I found was the kids were amazing. They spoke 3 languages. They had a sense of interest and curiosity and joy, and even a sense of peace that I hadn't even experienced myself in a long time, in a way. And then a lot of the young people that I work with in America, I'm trying to get them to live in that moment and experience that. And they naturally had it.
Hakuna matata, hakuna matata. Oh, hakuna matata. Oh, yeah.
It started out that Dave and I were actually planning a trip to go across the country, so we were saving our money at our jobs to eventually quit those jobs. Eventually things came up, so we couldn't do that trip anymore. So I made other plans for the fall, and then I got a call from Dave saying that instead of our cross-country trip, he was going to be going to Kenya with Bill Fahey to record some kids singing. I said, wow, that sounds amazing. I'm going to come with you. And that's how that happened.
One of the things that I noticed was their love of singing and their love of movement and dance, and how natural every kid from a 3 or 4-year-old up until a 14 or 15-year-old, because the students are basically K through 8, they love to sing songs and dance any chance they could get. I spoke to my friend Dave. He was like, hey, I got some time in the fall, which could possibly happen. Right in that conversation was when I said, yeah, I'm in, I'll go again. Not even really having a plan or thinking it could happen. That was the seed. Got a phone call from the West Coast from a guy named Pete who was like, hey, he was out at the time hiking the whole West Coast. And then when he got off the road, he called me and said, hey, I'm hearing something about Africa. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can get involved in this. And then Andy Doherty stopped in at my doorstep and was like, hey, I talked to Dave and I'm hearing about this thing about Africa. Can I go? I'm like, yeah. And the thing just started to go into motion.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Can you signal to stop at the end of that? You've been the signal? Yeah.
We took this one student, Grace, and she was kind of the ringleader for all the other students. So we would say, Grace, we need those kids that sang with us before on this track. And she'd be like, okay, I'll find them. I didn't think we were going to be able to record so well in this area, and Tom just brought all the right equipment so that we could record almost professional quality inside of this canvas tent in the middle of Africa. It was amazing.
The students couldn't have been more fun to work with. They had more energy than anybody I've ever seen. They got up at 5 in the morning and they don't stop until they go to sleep at 9 at night. They were a ton of fun to work with, and then you hit stop on the record and just go hang out with them.
Invited guests, teachers, pupils, ladies and gentlemen, Okari Primary presents this album. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Welcome.
Me and my buddies, we are traffic people. We like to go down the restaurant road. Spend those $Euros all the way from Washington to Tokyo. And I see them in the airport lounges upon their mother's breasts. They follow me.
We got so many tracks done within 2 or 3 days, and I was shocked. Like, we can't do that here, you know? know, and these kids were really, I guess just how disciplined the kids could be, because they were so excited about this project. And I'm not sure if they'd ever been recorded before or even knew what the recording was, the recording process was. So it's amazing how much faith they had in us as well. It was great.
Certainly when you travel there are so many opportunities and the need is so great. In Kenya alone, I think there are over 1 million orphans, and it's devastating what happens to these children if they don't have a chance and if they're not in a community or in a school that will take care of them.
Yeah, good job there, gentlemen. Woo!